Hey, hey, Shady Gang. Crunk Chocolate here with a special episode for you. The homie, Nico, you hit me up. Litstream alumni, amputee soccer player for New England Revolution amputee team, represented the U.S. team on a national level, once did a commercial with a football legend, which he told the story on the Litstream, so that's why you got to tap into that. But when he hits you up, you got to listen. So he let me know he's playing a game against NYCFC. So shout out to the CFG family over here. Big game this weekend at Gillette Stadium, and I had to hear more about it. And so here we are. But he told me, I'm gonna bring some of the homies with. In fact, on a higher level of sportsmanship than I could ever attain, I'm actually gonna have my competition with me this weekend. So why don't we all just talk about this match? So Shady Gang, please give it up for Nico, Jovan, and Gavi. Give it up one time, further one time. Where's my applause? There we go. What's up? How's it going, gentlemen? How are y'all?
Dude, we're good. Thanks for having us on, man.
Yeah,
We're
just got
chilling.
done doing a trail run. They let me know pre-pod, so yes, they're all nice and glistened. They're athletes, athletes being athletes. I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
trying to get ready for it. But yeah,
and
we got all of us play on the national team for the U.S. AMP soccer team.
love that.
We were all at the last World Cup together for USA. So we played in Istanbul, Turkey, 2022. The uh, the team finished 15th at that tournament, which was for us a pretty good result. Like
Yeah.
prior to that, we hadn't been breaking into the elimination stages. So we,
Mm.
we got there and lost a tight game to Haiti, who finished fourth in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're feeling hungry and we're feeling ready, and um, yeah, I mean it's just like a constant grind because we're not together very often. So
Yeah.
like Kavi is from Texas and flew out for the week just to get some touches in and just to be with everybody. Jovan and I are constantly together. Like we're hanging all the time, training all the time, and yeah, we both like captain the New England and New York teams respectively. So
Yes.
it's competition, but it's all family for sure. And
Yes.
the goal is just to like take USA as far as we can go. And to make that happen, we got to have these regional programs going. So some healthy competition is bringing our program along for sure.
Yes, I love it. Before we get into the things, though, I want to hear from Javon and Kavi. How is Nico as a teammate? Like, what is his personality? Is because I have ideas, but I want to hear from people who play with him. How is he? And you can be honest. It's a camera, so you can just be like, hey, I got in front of the camera. I had to tell the truth.
You want to go, Joby?
Yeah. I mean, Nico's just a born leader. I mean, he's our fearless captain. He's my brother. We've been all over the world together. We competed at a high level. He pushes everyone to go harder. Drives us to be not just better soccer players, but better people on and off the field. Um, and we just follow his lead. I mean, I've been with him since 2016. Um, we promised each other we'd be on this ride together as long as it took, as long as we can until the wheels fall off. And fast forward 8 years later, we're going on to our third World Cup together. We've had the privilege to be able to wear the USA colors and represent our country, and we don't take that lightly. We wear that with pride. And he's he's the person that you want to go to war with and you want to go to battle with. And he leads us, and we just try to keep up. That's it. And I mean, these regional programs has been a challenge growing, but we've really just kind of dug our feet in, and we've brought together some also great guys. Like it's not just him and I. We have a great group of guys, both on the national team level, and then both on our regional teams as well. That drive and push us and our fearless leaders just as well. So yeah, his energy is infectious. We're really trying to establish a culture and bring soccer in the States, bring up the level. And we have an opportunity in the disabled soccer space to be at the forefront of that. And yeah, we're just blessed. I mean, by the grace of God, we're here, and we just continue to just take the steps through the doors that open, and yeah, he's our fearless leader, and we love him.
Love you, boys. Yeah.
Wow, he that's pretty tough to follow. So I'll break the ice a little bit more for you. There's no way you can keep up all that positive, right? He has to grind your gears a little bit, right? He has to be a little annoying somewhere, right? You can't just come on, Kavi. Let's get some realness in here.
He gets a fair share of that out on me for sure. I'm one of the younger ones on the team right now, and since day one he's been beating me up, but it's all tough love, like
Yes,
he does
Bring
it
the
to
best out of
better
you.
everyone. Like he'll bust your chops to make you better as a person, as a player, and it's really great that someone will show you maybe not what you want to hear in that moment, but they know what's best for you, and they know long term how to make you a better person and player. So it's all just love in the end.
Yeah, like, hey, before I have you do a guest spot on a podcast, let's do a trail run, like that, like something like that.
Yeah, let's go run 3 miles.
Yeah, let's
No sprints.
Oh man, shout out to y'all. It's so dope. Okay. Well, let's let's let's
Trunk's like, damn, I gotta go run right after this too.
I'm definitely thinking about it, take my dog on a nice little walk or something. Yeah, man, I gotta do better for
Well,
sure.
and hang on before we go anywhere else. I gotta lay some praise on these boys too, because it's like,
Oh, let's go. I'm
yeah,
here for
it's.
it. Let's go.
I feel like a lot of times in like disability sports, people end up doing individual sports because it's like it's hard to get people together. Jovan lives in Long Island. Like he's driving up here, making a ridiculous commute to like make this happen. Kavi's flying out for a week, coming out of college, and like everybody's making big sacrifices to do it. But like it requires a team, and it requires like relationships off the field. And I think that what we have going now is like we feel like we have our backs against the wall, and everyone is absolutely down to grind for it. And we know that like today, just on this run, it's like, do we think that the other teams are like pushing this hard? Do we think that like they're able to keep up with it with us and the work that we're ready to put out? And that type of environment, like you can have that on as an individual, and but yet, like doing it with a team and doing it with a group and doing it with your boys is something completely different. So like Jovan is an incredible people, and like has a way of bringing folks in. Like oftentimes I'm like way too business, and Jovan has a way of connecting with anybody that comes into the program and welcoming them and making them feel like they have a home in what we're doing. And it's like that type of leadership, what he's built in New York and what he builds on the national team, like what we build as a group, like we all bring different things, and it's all important. You know what I mean? And yeah, Jovan just has a way of bringing people in that's sick. Like can connect with anybody and really look them in the eye and make them feel like they have a place to be. And then Kavi, I don't know if we really want to get into it, but no, Kavi's just the little man on the team and is just a beast. Like he like played in the World Cup when he was 16 years old. I think the first game he ever played for Team USA, he was 15. Goes onto the field, gets a massive concussion from some dude from El Salvador, and then is like in the hospital. And like we're like, oh shit, dude, I don't know if you're like, he wasn't. Maybe he just wasn't big enough at that point. And in the last 3 years, Kavi's put on like 25 pounds of muscle. And the dude is absolutely beasting now. So it's like just yeah, having dogs and having like everyone push each other. Like our group chat for the national team is popping off right now, and it's like everyone is super super hype. And yeah, it takes a team. It takes a team for sure. It can't just be individual players. It has to be like a culture that we build with everybody, and it's happening right now. And it's everybody. Like it's everyone doing it together and pushing each other.
Let's go. Y'all got me all pumped up. Let's go. Ready to run to the wall for you guys. Let's go. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the regions. First, I guess, how many regions and teams in this whole program are there?
It's growing. I think right now we've got probably 5 teams that are like ready to compete. And then we have like 8 teams or like 8 pockets of people who are like building the programs.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
and prior to like 3 years ago, there were no teams really. So right now it's like, that's why, yeah, it's the competition between these regional teams is helping us prepare our national team, but really it's just like giving people an opportunity to play and learn about the sport. And, not everybody's going to want to play for the national team or have the capacity to do it. It's like, but it's important regardless that like people have a place to play, and like there's the recreational and the community aspect of all these regional teams, and then it's also like a pipeline to our national team so that folks are competing, because prior to that it was like we're competing like once a year, twice a year maybe, on the international level, so like getting ready for that is really hard. But now what we've seen, like Columbus, Colorado, New England, New York, Miami, Chicago, Southern California, Pacific Northwest, like these pockets are all getting going, and ideally we're going to have one in every like MLS franchise in the next couple of years, so that it just keeps growing.
Okay, Chicago. Okay, I'm a few hours away from Chicago, so you'll have to get me connected with the Chicago region, and I'd like to tap in with them because I'm gonna be there already in a couple. I'm trying to get to Chicago at least once a month now. There's a Des Moines team, U.S. League Two, I think, team also. So I'm just trying to get my boots on the ground, support more American U.S. football because I love Man City, but there's only so much I can do with that. And I'm gonna be there for the Red Stars for NWSL, and I'll be there in a couple weeks. And like I said, I'm trying to get up there once a month. So once we get done with them, or if you can get me in touch with someone from that area, I would love to get tapped in with them. Um, and same thing with actually, I need to see what Sharpie's up to because he just moved to the DMV area as well. So yeah, we're always here to help. However you need, you know us like 1,000%.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we'll definitely link you up. And a huge part of like our need right now is just getting the word out. Like people don't know that the sport exists or that there's a program in their area. So just like publicity for it is huge for us. Like it really goes a long way. So definitely we'll link you up. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Oh, so actually, I want to stay here because Kavi, as you being the young phenom coming up, what has that experience been, knowing that you have Nico and Javon who have been at it for a while and have been trying to build this into something? So, like, really, you are like a lot of their sweat and tears. There's like almost you is like because the future of the U.S. national team. So, how has that experience been?
Yeah, I mean, I can't thank these guys enough for what they've built for people like me. I mean, these guys have put in hours and hours, days, months of their lives to build something for me. And it's just great to have a community that they built with that we're so tight knit. And it's just like people like me. And it's so important to have people you can relate to. And it's so nice. And it's also great because, I mean, we're a family, but we're also teammates. And having these guys who I can learn from and just constantly be around and just pick up all this knowledge that they have is so great. And I couldn't ask for more, truly.
Love that. And Javon, obviously, I'm spreading I'm spreading the love, and trying to get chats from everybody.
Oh,
So you, Nico mentioned how you're the communicator. You're very good at the community part. Is there a reason for that? Is that something that you always connected with people, or is it just like you see that this is needed for what you're trying to build? Where does that key to community from you come from?
yeah, I mean, I'm from New York, so just like gift of gab, always wanting to talk to people, run my mouth, but also just a will to want to like connect with people and serve people. Like this sport, this organization has served me and has done so much for me. Has been a blessing for me. And I just try to show love to everyone because that's I just have a heart for that. Like I come from a place of love. I was welcomed into this by Nico and by a bunch of other guys and OGs and legends in this sport that pioneered something that I'm just blessed to be able to walk through and have an opportunity to do. Um, So yeah, it comes naturally for me. Bringing it, especially growing this New York Metro team has been a gift. I mean, we started with 3, 4 people showing up to practice, and now we have potentially like two full squads, and we run full scrimmages, and there's inter squad competition. And I think the biggest thing that I realize is I come from a place of privilege. Like I live in a first world country. I have access to a sport that gives a lot to me. But a lot of our guys, especially in New York Metro and for the Rebs and all over the country, they're coming from these underserved communities, essential poverty, and community is all they have. Not to mention that they're living with a disability. And I recognize that. I recognize that it's not just about the sport, about competition. It's about community, bringing people in to feel love and have a family. Because for a lot of our guys, this sport's saving their life. And I recognize that. And not only that, I want to see this whole thing be in a better space than when I came into it. Even though I came into it, it was great. I think part of just not only our personal legacy, but just the legacy of amputee soccer in the United States. We want to leave a mark, and I think we're well on our way there. But it takes a village. It's not just the will of just one person or 2 people or 3 people. It takes a village, and I think we recognize that, and we're just trying to do our best to move things forward and bring visibility to the sport. And it's also aligned in our purpose. Like God put us on this earth to be able to do this work, and we've aligned a life around it. And it's just a blessing. It's a blessing to do it, just to get to do it, but it's also a blessing just to get to do it with these guys and the group of guys that we have. Strength in numbers, like we're being humble right now. Like our group chat is full of people just like busting their ass, like looking to like set PRs and running 2 miles a day every single day. So it's pretty hard not to want to feel like if you don't have motivation, then, I don't know what you're up to. But we're fired up and we see the opportunity in front of us. Like we're drooling at the opportunity to play and to go and compete and to win cups and to go out and prove to the world that like we belong in this space, and that we have a bunch of dogs that are ready to eat your lunch.
Hey, let's go. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this match. When is it? What time is it? Where is it? All of those things, so I can clip it all nice and neatly together.
Yeah, got you. I'll send you something with like some more details just so it's all written
Cool.
down. But
Perfect.
we're Saturday night, May 25th. We're playing really what is history for the sport in the States. We're playing the first ever like full-sided match of AMP soccer, and it'll be at Gillette Stadium following the NYCFC versus Revolution game. And in the past, we've done halftime demos. Jovan and I were just in Colorado this last week, like helping them put on their first demo, which just like gets a ton of eyes on the sport, helps it grow. And we've done, I think, like 3 or 4 now between New York and New England at Gillette. And this will be the first time that it's like not a halftime demo. Like we're going to play after the game, and we got like a full size squad. We got full minutes. It's going from being, I don't know. It's funny, like those halftime demos, they go a long way for us because it's more eyes than we'd ever get anywhere else. But at the same time, like the other halftime entertainment is like kids playing soccer and like people in inflatable balls, like knocking each other over, Yeah. So it's like, that's not how we want to be represented. Like, we know we can't bring out a full crowd to one of these games. People aren't going to show up yet. Maybe they will someday. They do in other parts of the world. But for now, it's like we're pumped to be getting a full space to represent the game at its highest level in the United States. So yeah, it'll be intense for sure. And it'll be, people have an idea what AMP soccer might be like when they hear about it, but you got to watch it to like really get an appreciation for the speed of the game, the level of play, like the physicality of it. It's fucking intense. It's super intense. And yeah, it's entertaining. I think like it's not traditional soccer. And I think similarly to the attitude, like, I don't watch women's sports because like it's not as fast as the men or something like that.
Mhm.
Like I think that same type of perception exists for disability sports. Um, and what I'd say is, like, if you haven't watched a match live, then you don't know. So like come check it out and tune in, because it is physical, it is competitive, it's fast. It's a different game, but at the same time, it's super entertaining. So you can also we for the first time we'll have like a full stream for it on our YouTube, the American Amp Soccer Association channel,
Okay.
and like I can send you the info for that, and
Yes,
you can
please.
tune in. Yeah, it'll be
Yes,
like, I think the
please.
actual kickoff will be like 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, let's go. I'll have some cervezas in me. Let's
That's the way.
go.
Let's get it.
Oh man.
Have one for me
Okay.
too.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I'll try to make sure try to run the score up. Obviously, you want to show defensively, but if you can run it up, I'll just have a beer for each goal. Oh, it could get real silly real fast. I love it.
Let's hope for a 5-5.
Yeah.
Game on indeed. Oh man. Okay, well, is there anything else missing? Is there anything that you want to relay or talk about?
Um, I mean, shout out to the New York Metro amputee soccer team, all the guys over there. Shout out to the Revs amputee soccer team, all the guys over there. Shouts to both the professional clubs that support us. I mean, we really don't get as far without the visibility and resources that they provide for us. So we really appreciate that relationship that we built over time. Um, and yeah, I mean, amputee soccer is growing in the United States, so um, get in now because we're going on a ride. Um, and yeah, I think that's, for the most part, that's really all I got.
Yeah, it's been wild to see it come from where it was like when Jovan and I met. No regional programs, no access, no support, and it's just year after year, it's getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, we're going out to compete against each other. Like, we're gonna go hard. It'll be like 100% on both sides. But really, it's like the winner for the big winner is amputee soccer. Like,
Yes.
we're growing something here, and while our two programs are definitely like the biggest programs and the ones that are competing against each other the most, it's just setting a stage for the rest of the country to see, like, this is possible. Here's how it's done, and like, you just need a few dedicated people in a pocket to get it going. It doesn't take. It's not as hard as you might think to get a program started, and we want to see one in every major city in the United States. There's 4 million amputees living in the U.S. Like, it's
Mm.
a massive population. There's enough to have these competitive teams, and when we check in next, hopefully we've got a few more on the books. And I'd also shout out the U.S. Cup is going to be held in Boston this year in October, so we're hoping for an 8-team tournament. And I think we've got a really big community between New York and New England that's supporting that, and I expect we're going to pull out all the stops for it and like really put on a full tournament where we are the main show. Like, that hasn't been the case in the past, but I think we're ready for it. So uh, there'll definitely be more info on that coming out soon, and we'd love to have people tune in and follow along, and you know a follow on it on social media, like a repost, just speaking about the sport, knowing it exists, like that gets if that gets to the right person, it can like really change somebody's life, and it also
Yes.
changes the landscape of the sport for us. So yeah, spreading the word means a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, as we continue to grow, I mean, we're definitely looking for more volunteers, more coaches, more people that want to get involved in the sport. Um, we the selfless service of like a village of people is really what has brought it to where it's at, and it'll only go as far as the selfless service continues and people want to bring it. So um, again, we're super grateful. Shout out to all of the people that put in selfless hours and time, blood, sweat, and tears just to be able to allow us to have this opportunity. And yeah, let's get it. Yo, do you know chopped cheese?
Hell yeah, I know chopped cheese.
That's my guy. That's my guy. My boy Kenny, he knows Kenny too. He's a season ticket holder for NYCFC. So we've linked up with Chopped Cheese a bunch of times at the games, and we chopped it up a little bit. But yeah, it's crazy how worlds collide.
Yes. Oh,
It's
well, I
small. It's
mean,
a small world.
okay. So I'll say I know of them. I personally don't know them. I would love to connect with them, though. Yeah, no, they're great.
No, for sure, for sure.
Okay, well, Shady Gang. Uh, I will have all of the information of how to follow each player individually, the general information for the match, and I want to once again thank you all for your time. Shady Gang, once again, give it up for them. Yeah. So, Shady Gang, I will see you soon. I don't know when. Content season will be starting soon. We will be recording our final episode for the season. Oh man, on Wednesday. But until then, you know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.